Guys, what it is your girl Cadillac. I am Cadillac Dixon. I'm the drama like prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all face to black. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, I had to come through to finish. This is now the part 3 of this story, basically, of the worst relationship ever. Girl, go to the description box. I got parts 1 and parts 2, like these crazy stories where I was with a junkie and like, girl, he put me through it. So if you want to hear all those correct. Your girl was boo boo the darn fool. Like for real. I was dumb with the B. Dumb with the B on the end, girl. It was too much going on, but I quickly wised up. Now, it was some months, though. I was out there looking crazy. So let's jump back in it. Okay, so I told you how I met 3 of his baby mamas. The first baby mama, girl, he had over 11 children, 10 to 11 children at that time. God knows how many he got now. But, so that first baby mama that I ran into worked at the super center with us. So, she said that I had to know that she was with him because everybody knows. Like I said, I wasn't like running in groups, so I didn't know what anybody got going on. Ain't nobody tell me the tea, and I wasn't around nobody to find out no tea. But anyway, she came up. She was like, "Girl, you a homewrecker," like I said. And I'm like, a home wrecker? No, I'm not good. I am for families. I want my family. Matter of fact, like, girl, I didn't know he was your man's. Like, girl, get your man's then. And it was so crazy because I'm like, he lied to me. I literally did not know he had, I didn't know he had a girlfriend, but then I didn't know he had a baby mama. And then I didn't know that he had several baby mamas. And then I didn't know that he had like over 10 children. Like, girl, I ain't know none of that. Of course, he ain't gonna put that on his resume. Okay. The second baby mama I met, oh girl, how did I run into her? Dang, can I say it in this video? Because I want it to be different. Anyway, I met her when I was around the hood looking for my car. You know, the car that he had stole. He borrowed. I let him borrow the car. And girl, he never came back, girl. He never came back. He stole my car, girl. Like, crazy. Like I told you, I had some bad luck boyfriends. One of them tried to break in my house. A whole different boyfriend stole my car. My car, girl. My car. Yeah. But I was looking around the neighborhood for my car, knocking door to door, and I found a baby mama. Yes, that's going to be in that story. Oh my gosh. It was crazy. And girl, I remember that car. It was a Buick Regal. I had a gray Buick Regal. It was a luxury car and whatever's. Because my parents, they were well off. My dad's a construction worker. He made plenty of money. He worked on Shaquille O'Neal house. Matter of fact, that's how we end up in Orlando. Because he was doing so much work that he just ended up having to move from Chicago to here. That is in my Drama Life. Y'all can see that part. I'll link that in the description. That's why I'm called Drama Life Prison Wife, because I was trying to find a way to tell my story and my artwork. So this whole channel jumped back because it started way back when YouTube started. But I got back on my channel and jumped it off with the Drama Life, and that tells how we ended up in Florida. And then my mama, she worked hard. So they had money. We were middle class. Like now, girl, there ain't no middle class. You either broke as a goddamn joke, po. You not even poor because you can't afford the second O in poor or the R. So or the aura. Do anybody say aura? Some say R and some say aura. You can't afford the O or the aura. Anyway, so they had bought this Buick for me. Bought it, and I was working at KFC. And the day that they got that Buick, I'm sorry, I was at work running the drive-through, and they drove the drive-through through the drive-through, and it was like, Keita, it's for you. And I'm like, are you kidding me? For real? I like it was luxury. It didn't have them windows that roll, girl, like my Thunderbird had. No, girl, it wasn't that. That thing had electric windows. And you know, back in the day, we thought people were rich whenever they drove with their windows up because they're like, girl, they got AC in their car because they windows all the way up. Like ain't that crazy? He got to have some money because he got AC good. So that car, I was able to roll the windows up. It had the electric windows. It was luxury. The seat, I didn't have to pull the little lever and scoop my body weights up and stuff. All I had to do was push a little button and the seat go up and down and stuff and back and forth. Girl, that car. Luxury. A Buick Regal. And he stole it. Girl, he just bought it, but he never came back with it. My mother was so freaking mad. I tried to stay from home because I knew she was going to be like, she didn't know I was home because, of course, she didn't see my car. Car gone. And so she finds me in the room. She's like, Kitty, how are you here without your car? Where's your car? Like, can you imagine Medea saying, where's your car? Where's your car, Kitty? Oh, your car's not here? Oh, you let somebody borrow your car? Then I told you this man was the devil. He had to be, girl. He had to be. Because he was doing stuff like he done went up and God told Marcello on me, like I said in the last video. Because Marcello said he had this dream when he called me up one day and he was like, you had me in the back seat of a car and you was driving some other man around and you just kept taking him everywhere. And I'm like, Keita, don't. And I think Marcello had that dream because me and Marcello were spiritually like connected. We could literally feel the same feelings or think the same thought, and it was so crazy. So he knew, even though he told me to, Kitty, you got to move on with your life. I'm not going to say, okay, so I'm moving on with my life, so blah blah blah. No, you just do what you got to do. And then I don't know, like, what's the purpose in that? I couldn't leave him, but then I was so young that I still was dating. You know what I mean? Okay, so then, now tell me this ain't some devil-ish. Girl, I go to visitation way up yonder. Y'all know the way Florida set up. It got the panhandle and then it got the peninsula that comes down. I'm in Central Florida, which is in the peninsula. And I have to go darn near up to the panhandle and then go over down the panhandle. So this was a long ride from Marcello to me or whatever. From me to Marcello, I'm sorry, to go visit him and such. So way after this whole relationship was over with this shame, low down dirty shame, do you know I go to visit Marcello? I check in, I sit down. I'm like, oh, my little husband. Because, you know, the incarcerated citizen has to sit across from you at the table. Y'all can't sit by each other's. You know, you can only hold hands across a big old huge table. Like, there really can't be nothing but meters in between you guys. So, we got to sit across from each other. So Marcello is across from me and sitting behind him. So the incarcerated citizens have to sit back to back. And then you can see, girl, who was sitting across at the table behind us? Shame. I nearly lost. I'm like, oh my goodness. How he here? He was up in the prison. I don't know what he went to prison for. I don't know none of that. But he was in the prison and he was with some other girl. I don't know if this was baby mama number, whatever. Like, you at some point, you know how I leave that dot on everything every comment I put dot. So she was baby mama probably number dot. Girl, and he's sitting at visitation. I'm about to freak out when they go to count, because halfway through the visitation, all the incarcerated citizens have to go out on the patio area or to a side area so they can count them to make sure that they have all the I almost said that word, that I word, all the incarcerated citizens, I almost said inmate, make sure they got all of them accounted for, right? So I'm like, he's finna talk to Marcello. My good, how? Out of all the prisons, Florida is built on prisons. Out of all the prisons, you had to walk into mine. Girl, that was crazy. Okay, so here we are, baby mama number 3. Still at the super center. He done got fired. He done went to prison. We have not connected. When I got that devil out my life, I did not ever never. That is someone I would never in my life. You know how people rekindle it? No, baby. No. I exercised that one out. We is not ever in life. Ever. You know how Cardi B say, ever, forever. We won't ever be together again, right? So, again, at the store, some woman comes up to me and is like, hey, I heard you was with Shame. Yeah, girl, this was 1,000,001 years ago. Because at this time, I'm almost 30. So this was in my early 20s when I was boo-boo the fool. Like, yeah, this is something I would love to be able to. Can we get like a delete button on our brains? Like, that would make it so much easier to maneuver through life if you could forget the past. Like, the past don't never go away, girl. And she like, I heard you was with Shame. Girl, Shame, you ain't got to worry about me and Shame. Because that I be running away, girl. Because ended up, he got hired back to the super center. And I'm like, every time I see that face, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like seeing the devil, honestly. So he started back working there, but there was no chance of that. But I don't even really want to be in this person's presence like that because I remember everything that you did. Okay. So at that time, I worked at the Super Center. I was Cadillac, the hottest female rapper out Orlando. I used to wear my demo. This was mid 2000s. No, probably about 2011 or so, something like that. I used to wear my demo around my neck. Basically in 2007, I started rapping. I used to sneak my little demo in the bag when people check out. I would put the demo in the bag of their stuff. They're like, good, you ain't bought no CD. You bought a CD? Okay, girl. So, and I would also wear it around my neck because it was basically a icebreaker. People like, why you got that CD around your neck like that, girl? And I'd be like, oh, because I'm a female rapper. Are you any good? Yeah, girl, I'm good. Like, I guess I'm all right. Like, as soon as people popped that CD in, they was like, oh my goodness. They would play that thing out, that demo, and come back and ask me for another one. That's how you know that thing was really good. Like, grown men would tell me that they basically cried when they listened to my demo. Like, people was loving my music. But I didn't know at the time how politically, all those behind the scene things that happen in the music industry, which I'm glad I never got into it. See, God reveals to you later. Now I understand why I couldn't make a living as a female rapper, right? Or I couldn't break. I really wanted to be just a one-hit wonder, though. I just really wanted to break Marcello's story, and then I was just gonna, keep it moving after that. So the third baby mama, she had already had one of my demos. She said that the song, she told the guy, Shame, that the songs was about him. She gives the demo to him. Now, I'm not never thinking that they gonna hear the demo. She gives it to him, right? Okay, so I wrote that song called Yapping About Him. So I want to play a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Talk that talk. You know you're gonna have to walk that walk. It's your girl Cadillac. Ain't saying nothing. The gums clapping, but she ain't said nothing real yet. This verse is about his baby mama number one. The second verse is about him. Talk that shit, you need to back it up. Hey, yes, sir. But she know that she can't bike it. She say she only got 2 words she wanna say to me. But when she walk past me, she don't say a word, nothing. When her girls around, cause when she by herself, don't squat, come out her mouth. Because the most she hated shows that she's envious. Your girl, here's a dime, and I'm just pinning, what? Ambition. For what they hand to me, anything worth having, you know I'm taking it, baby. Cause she ain't real, girl. This made me want to get in that booth. He talking shit. If you talk that you need to back it up. If you talk that need to back it up. Since you talk that ish, gon' back it up. Yes, sir. This is verse. He buy me this, he buy me that. He told me he was loaded, make it rain on your girl Cadillac. But that was a lie, cause I found out the hard way. Cause every time we went out, why your girl, he had to pay. He would always say, hey, that the girl let me hold some. But when he get paid, he would act like he ain't owe me nothing. Never fend for a man, let him fend for himself. No loving with no finances. I should've listened, cause every man that glisten and gold. And not to mention loving wasn't all that, truth be told. He taught that stuff and he know that he couldn't back it. Round up his stuff and you know I sent homeboy to packing. Cause she ain't real. Not a doggone thing. He talking shit. Hey, gums clapping, bumping them gums. But she ain't said nothing real yet. But he ain't saying nothing. He talking shit. But he ain't said nothing real yet. Y'all check that video out in the, y'all hear that beat, that be hard though. But check that video out in the description box. I illustrated all of the artwork in that video. But yeah, that song was wrote about him. And then it was another one, Love It or Leave It. Either you love it or you leave it. Her now to me, it really don't make no difference. But if you gonna stay here, then let's be clear. All these silly lies and games, I ain't having it. You gonna pay some bills. You gonna keep a job. And if you gonna be with me, then you come home on time. Not 1 in the morning, not 2 in the morning. I mean, bring your ass home at a reasonable time. Yeah, I'm tired of this brother bush. And at this point, I really don't care if he leave me, cause I can do bad all by my darn self. To do bad, I don't need nobody else help. You say you sorry, I should forgive you. But before I do this changes you must go through. Hey, find employment and keep the job, man. And stop running in them streets, cause you's a grown man. I already got a child. I don't need 2, man. I'm raising my little girl. I can't raise you, man. Hey, why you intelligent but act a darn fool? See, I ain't trying to run you, just laying down the rules. And if these rules you who would abide by them, it wouldn't be no fuss and fighting. This would be a smooth ride. See, when I first met you, thought you was heaven sent. Now that I've gotten to know ya, found that you ain't legit. So you love it or you leave believe it. A night of me early don't make a difference. But if you gonna stay here, then let's be clear. All them silly lies and games, I'm not having that. You gon' pay some bills, and you gon' keep a job. And if you gon' be with me, then you come home on time. Not 1 in the morning, not 2 in the morning. I mean, bring your ass home at a reasonable time. Yeah, it's your girl Cadillac. Girl, I felt that. That took me back to that day. Like, girl, can you see me just rapping this song to him? Like, for real. Girl. Also, there's some songs that come from that era that the minute they come on the radio takes me back to that time. And I immediately flash to him in that horrible time in my life. One is Me, Myself, and I. That was my empowerment song by Beyonce. I got me, my neck was rolling too. I'm like, you ain't gonna, girl. I think that inspired my Lover to Leave It song. And then Alicia Keys, that You Don't Know My Name. That song was out. It don't have nothing to do with that, but that song was just out and big during that time. So anytime when that song was out, I was going through a dark storm. And those songs take me straight back to that time. I don't care. Anytime those songs pop on the radio, I'm going to remember that. So I told you he got rehired years later. And that's where I met baby mama. I got BM number 3. I think I got my little notes out of order a little bit. Okay, so when he comes back to work at the Super Center, he actually, girl, he telling me he changed. He ain't that same old low down dirty shame. Girl, I ain't trying to hear it. I ain't trying to entertain nothing you got to say. Just that's how Rajava was talking about. She was like, she ain't had nothing else to say to this dude that done got her locked up for 8.5 years off of a 10-year sentence for him. Like, girl, goodbye. We ain't got no words. So I would never like really ever respond or talk to him. It would be like, oh my gosh, like, God, please just get him away from me. But we having a talk or whatever, because I'm like fixing the aisles. It was overnight, so they sent us down the aisles when it's slow to zone, where that's where you fixing all the shelves and stuff. So he finds me in one of the aisles and he tells me that he had a conversation with Marcello. I'm like, oh, this even gets better. Like, for real. Like, I already told y'all how Marcello ends up having this dream. Then I go to Vizzo and the man's right behind. So he done got out. Everybody go to jail, go to prison, get back out before Marcello get out. Like, Marcello ain't never had a second chance. He didn't even have a first chance because he's wrongfully convicted. So he didn't even have that first chance. But other people get in, get out, get in, get out. Like double dutch, girl. Like, this Marcello ain't even got out once. But he tells me that he sat down and had a conversation with him, because that's when he realized who Marcello was, when he seen us at freaking Visitation. Like, you can't hide nothing in this world. Like, girl, it will always come back to the surface. So what did he tell me Mr. Marcello said? So I'm thinking that he told Marcello that we were together for a while. And Marcello knew when my car got stolen, because I told him that it was some dude that I went to the movies with. But Marcello thought at that point I stopped messing with him, but I was boo-boo the entire darn fool. And that didn't make me stop messing with him, because he stole my car. So he was like, he sat down and had a conversation, and he was like, that dude is so in love with you. And like, he's basically like a shell of a person. He's lost without you. Lost without you. He was like, that's all that man talk about all day, every day. And he just, I don't know. He's just all you. He was like, that man is really in love with you. Girl, that's too close for comfort. Like, for real. So we on to the next issue. So basically, I would run into him. I'm not even in the town that he's from, but all our towns are, okay, Orlando, and then there's a lot of little towns around Orlando. So He would always see me around town, and every time I wouldn't have no words, I run. I would feel like, oh my gosh, that I just seen a devil girl. Let me run. And I don't know. I never had any more words for him after that. So, and I mean, it's still time to time I freaking see him around the town. Like, that is so, ugh. And my last issue is I hate when someone be like, girl, guess who I seen today? Please tell me anybody. Anybody. We could have even seen the freaking judge. Okay, the judge, the I would rather see him. I would rather see the little warden or anybody. Who did you see, girl? Who? And they tell me shame. Please don't tell me nothing about it. And he asked about you. Girl, please don't ask about me. It's over. It's done. Crazy. So now that you got a lot of background on this relationship, my most horriblest relationship in my entire existence of dating, now I can tell you the story of him stealing my car, my boyfriend that stole my car. Anyway, it's finna go inside, upload this video, and hopefully work on that story tomorrow, because girl, that's crazy. That really had me looking like boo boo the entire fool. All right, here's see your girl Cadillac.